What's up, Michigan? Time to get fired up for this week's State Champs Recruit Report with the incomparable Allen Trieu. My name is Lauren Plant. We've got three guys we want you to know about, especially who's coming after them. Allen, let's start with Elijah Easley. Currently a river rat with Arbor Huron, doing pretty much whatever they ask of him on the field. The senior with several offers already on the table for his services. Who's the latest?
Wayne State's the latest, and that's with Tyrone Wheatley at the helm now, certainly attacking the state of Michigan, and I think he knows Ann Arbor pretty well, but Easley has had a really, really good season so far. You mentioned doing a little bit of everything. He's a three-phase guy, so running back, safety, makes plays on special teams, 6'1", 200 pounds, so I don't think the offer train's going to slow down for him. He came into the fall with 6. He adds this Wayne State offer, and I think a lot of other schools are looking closely at him because he is versatile and big.
All right, well, let's move on. Let's talk a rising star, class of 2026, another quote-unquote athlete, dons the red and black for Divine Child. Marcello Vitti made an immediate impact as a freshman, picked up right where he left off as a sophomore, and I understand he won't be the first Vitti in his family to play college athletics. Has a brother playing football in Navy, right, and a sister playing lacrosse at Howard.
Yeah, both parents were college athletes, but Marcello, like you said, immediate impact for Divine Child. You talk about another guy who can impact the game in multiple phases. As a freshman, was playing running back, made a big impact on the defensive side of the ball, went out and had some really good camps and picked up right where he left off so far this season. He's an offensive weapon. I think he'll probably end up in the defensive backfield come college, but Kentucky just offered him. He went down there and visited, and he has quite a few now. Both Michigan and Michigan State have offered. I think Penn State's going to be a real factor in that recruitment. I think Stanford and some academic schools are going to be a factor in that one as well. So a long way to go for him, but the options are certainly piling up for Mr. Vitti.
Well, let's finish up with Jadyn Walker, senior linebacker out of Portage Northern. The Huskies are 3-0 to start the year, and Michigan State was able to flip him away from Toledo. Now, from what I read, I guess this happened just about an hour before the Richmond game.
Yes, he came up to campus. Well, they had offered him the night before, but him having just played a high school game and not knowing what he was going to do exactly yet, waited till Saturday to come up to campus and then commit in person. But it had also been in the works for quite some time. He was outstanding at the Wayne State Showcase. That's when he first caught their eyes. But he played basically exclusively wide receiver a year ago. And I think schools wanted to see his defensive tape from this year. Michigan State had him to camp, loved what they saw of him, and still wanted to see that game tape from the beginning of this year. And he's shown that he's picked up that position very quickly. So they offered him, and that was exactly what he wanted. So it didn't take too long for him to flip over.
Well, obviously, Michigan State is in the news, and I'd like to get, before we let you go, your overall take on the instability right now at the program. If you compare it to Northwestern, since Pat Fitzgerald was let go, they've seen over a half dozen recruits go a different direction. You think you're going to see some of that happen at MSU? We're only a few months away from the early signing period.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to work to keep these recruits. I know some schools are circling guys like A.J. Dennis from Mount Pleasant, picked up new offers this week. Purdue came in and offered him. But I think at the moment, those recruits are in wait-and-see mode. And the wait-and-see, I think, is who's going to stick from the staff. I know for like the offensive line, guys like Dennis, Chris Kapilovich has been a big part of their recruitment. For guys like Nick Marsh, it's going to be guys like Courtney Hawkins who stay on that staff or not. Harlan Barnett's the interim head coach, extremely experienced and respected as a recruiter. So I think there's still a lot to figure out here. These recruits are certainly, I think, going to take a look at some options or at least start figuring out some plan Bs. But for the moment, the class is staying intact, and I think just waiting to see what happens in the next few weeks with this investigation.
So, in other words, to be continued. All right, he is
Absolutely.
Allen Trieu, and we thank you for being here each and every week. We'll do it again next week.
Sounds good, Lauren. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Hank.